everyone.
Welcome
to another episode of the Immigrants show, as you know, we have two immigrants, myself and this immigrant over here to my right, and we talk about whatever happens in the U.S. nowadays that interests us, to be honest, because, out of everything, immigrants are a pretty big population over here either way, so, why not?
If you haven't made your peace with immigrants living in your vicinity, I don't know what to tell you, man. You just got to make your peace.
Well, it also depends where your vicinity is. I've never heard of an immigrant to move down to or up to Montana or South Dakota and not be looked at strangely.
And if you're from those places, please let us know and please tell us about your experience because, man, I want to believe that once somebody's there and then you start talking to the locals, people tend to be all right, man. People tend to be all right. At least that's what I like to tell myself. Everybody's a good person until they prove to me that they're not.
Yeah, you should definitely treat people like people.
That's what I tell myself. That's not what it is, though.
Yeah, no, it's not. There's some people that I would not treat very nicely. For example, these cops from Arkansas.
Oh my God!
Did you see it?
The three dudes?
The three dudes, yeah.
Gee.
Which was like...
Oh my God, bro.
It was hard to watch. And yes, we don't have the full story. We don't know what happened beforehand.
Dude.
We just have...
Can we agree that fuck what happened beforehand? You shouldn't do that shit. The only way, because I was talking to about the show with my lady, the only way I would forgive somebody for doing anything like that to another human being is if they killed a loved one, or if they raped a loved one, or they did something to you. But the fact that this motherfucker just kept wailing on him, and then he picked him up and slammed him. That's some hatred shit.
Wait, I didn't see the picking up slamming. All I saw, so the video I saw was some lady taking a video of them. The dude is on the ground, all three of them on top. One is kneeing him into the body.
Yeah.
The other one was punching him in the head, and the third one was trying to restrain him. I think there was one that was trying to do the right thing, but the other two were just
the one that was punching him in the head.
Yeah.
Lifted him up and slammed his face on the concrete.
On the concrete, yes. Yeah. If that's what you're talking about, then
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you shouldn't.
You think they voted for Trump? They definitely voted. We should do that. Those are gonna be hashtag Trump voters, because I would love to see their fucking shit.
Man, I know we spoke about this in the last episode, and as much as I try to be a fair person and not trying to paint everybody with the same brush and none of that stuff, because I still don't like to do that shit. But when you see these examples of these some these people with the blue stripe, or that just back cops no matter what, and they tend to have these violent tendencies, so this also strong ass hard tangent, but you start to see and hear these stories about these politicians that are so anti-LGBT plus because of the grooming and this and that, yet a lot of them end up being charged for child abuse.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they are the ones that are so adamant about, no, protect the children. Oh no, they're grooming the kids. Oh no, you can't have trans. Bro, when you stop doing that, I can take you seriously. Because that was so messed up, man. They're when he slammed them, when he slammed them on the concrete, bro.
Yeah, that was
bro.
And on top of that, that's Arkansas, and I am surprised that. There was not... Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm not surprised. I actually am very happy that it did not happen. But if there was another dude that was a friend of this guy or something like that, or a relative, dude, they have guns down there. Those cops would have been shot in the face. And I'm not advocating for that. You should not shoot cops just for being cops. But if that was my child...
But that shouldn't be a cop thing.
Yeah, definitely. And
As a cop, you shouldn't,
dude, if that was
slam them in the fucking concrete, bro.
if that was my child getting arrested, unless he did one of the two things that you were talking about earlier, I would shoot them on the spot. Like I would do. You know what? Let me rephrase that. I'm not even going to try to do the time. I already have an escape plan with countries that have no extradition treaty with the United States. One of them is being, by the way, Dubai and then Saudi Arabia. And I think Qatar is the third one, which is not a bad place to live in.
It's not a bad place to live.
It's not a bad place to live in, especially if you're male.
Oh, man, being an immigrant, that's what the benefits of being an immigrant. You can be an immigrant anywhere.
Anywhere. Like, Switzerland is also another place like that. Like,
You have the lighter.
yeah, like that's not a bad place to live in. I would shoot those motherfuckers. I would be on the first plane to Switzerland. Good luck you finding me. Like, because let's be honest, investigations take time, and if you're a smart criminal, you can use that time to your advantage. Like,
oh man,
because that would definitely have been a crime of passion. Like, you beat my child like that, dude.
that's that just shouldn't be okay, man. It's just not. When I'm waiting to hear the excuses. The kind of like when you said like you don't know what happened before, then it's like, bro, there are certain scenarios that you don't need to know what happened before to fucking evaluate whether or not something was the correct action to take, and it really
but like,
is disturbing, man, to me.
Wait, yeah, but you remember how everybody started jumping for against oh my God, he's a Mexican MMA fighter, and he shot the dude that raped or allegedly raped. Cain Velasquez.
That's a fucking hero. Fucking hero. Fuck yeah.
But remember in the beginning, people were like, "Oh no, this motherfucker! What is he doing?" Because they didn't know the story.
See, that's what I said. Like, there's specific moments.
Yeah.
If you got if all you have is footage of a guy chasing somebody and shooting them, you're like, hey, that's not cool. But if you got footage of three dudes holding somebody down, and two of them, because one of them was just holding them down, but I'm glad he's also suspended. But and the other two are the ones that got in trouble. It's like the one of them in the body just kneeing them, and the other one just like repeatedly punching them, which apparently. The guy that slammed his face on the concrete. He had complaints about abusing, like physically abusing other people that got dismissed from the court.
Oh damn!
And then this happened.
Oh no, this dude should never be on the force.
So the lawyer, because I saw the shit. Yo, bro. By the way, TikTok is a shit. Like I've got more into TikTok because it's almost like there's a lot of those like you've phrased it the other time, not click bites, information bites. I forget what you said.
So let's say information bites.
But like I said, I always fact check that shit. Make sure that what you're watching is true. But so I saw it there as well. There was this lawyer chick that was like currently in the process of trying to get this guy charged for another incident where he physically abused on other people. So and like, dude, that's not okay, man.
and the fact that you cannot, like, three guys cannot restrain one dude.
Bro.
Now, I'm sorry, but one of your main jobs as a cop, first of all, we should so I'll go on that rant, and I hate going on those rants. We should really, really, really change, for the time being, the slogan on those fucking cop cars. It should, from now on, it should never be to serve and protect or anything along those lines. It should simply say to enforce the law. That's it, because many of police officers, I'm pretty sure, think that that's their job. To enforce the law, not to help people, because if they were there to help people, their cars would not be fucking black. They'll be as visible as fuck, where there'll be a light beam going to know where the cop car is.
You should feel safe when you see them, bro.
I mean, I've never felt threatened by a cop, to be honest. But but
that's
I know why. And honestly,
that sucks. I wish I felt safe when I saw them, but I don't. You know.
Yeah, no. I will tell you why. Because back in the day, they used to beat on us, right? And I learned one fact. They used to beat on us. They used to rough us up when we're in the Bronx. Like they used to. Some of those motherfuckers like did not mind a punch or two without you doing shit. But I understood one thing after a few of those encounters, and then me seeing the way my friends act out and how they're treated. Because, and then I spoke to a friend of mine who is on the force too, and he was like, he had a very interesting point. He goes, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, or, you know, why a cop is pulling you over, coming to talk to you, it's an interaction between two people. You know, he was like this. Most of the time, if you act like an animal, we'll treat you like an animal. But a lot of times, and that's where they get scared, and that's why, like, when I started using it, I understood the power of saying, I cannot talk to you without a lawyer by my side. And you just repeatedly do it. It gets tiring, and you have to comply. That's the other fucked up shit, is that you really have to put all your ego, everything aside, and think about the long game. Like, that's one of the moments where you really need to focus on what your actions in this very second will bring to you 30 seconds later, a minute later, 10, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, a day later. Like, your goal is for you to be not safe, but to be compliant without getting into physical altercation. Because this is legitimately you going into a ring with a heavyweight champion and you don't even know how to box and you're 150 pounds. They will fuck you up. They're not afraid to use force. Everybody knows it. So your whole point from the second a cop pulls you over and starts talking to you or does anything or just wants to, you know, he's telling you something. They have, and I'm like a broken player right now because repeating the same shit over and over again. They have the right to know who you are, and they have the right to know what you're doing, where you're going, where you're coming from, what the fuck is up with your left nut. That's a conversation where you have when you have a lawyer by your side. And it is so... It is so okay. So think about it this way.
No, hold on, because you said they have a right to know all these things.
There's only two things.
Well, yeah. You said they have a right to know who you are and what you're doing.
Yeah. So by who you are,
as long as there's a lawyer by your side. That's how you finished it.
No.
That's what I want to make sure.
The rest, where you coming from, where you going, what's up with your left nut. That's a conversation that you have with them. With a lawyer by your side.
So in your opinion, what should a person that's being questioned by a police officer, what should they give? What information should they give about themselves?
So you have to tell them who you are and prove it. Usually an ID works the best, you know, that's the first thing. And the second thing is what you're doing. So when you're walking, you're walking. When you're running, you're running. When you're driving a car, you're driving a car. You keep it simple. What are you doing in this moment? If you're smoking crack, you're smoking. That's it. Like that's all. That's
so. Right,
but you don't tell them what you're smoking. If they ask you what you're smoking, that's when you start. I would continue having this conversation with a lawyer by my side, and that's the only thing that you have to repeat.
Right. So you say things that are not incriminating to what you're doing.
Yeah, that's your right.
Like this. Right.
Legitimately.
No. I just want to understand what you're saying because and that aspect I do understand, and the part that I struggle with is that as an individual in a free country, No, I don't have to tell you who I am. You don't have that right to just come up to me and ask me who I am just because you want to know who I am.
No. For civilian, yes.
Right. So like
For somebody that was given like that, you have to understand there's a hierarchy, especially when you talk to cops. There's a hierarchy at that moment.
Right. So at what point is it okay for a person for a cop to ask somebody for their ID?
Which point of view am I talking about?
No, I mean just in
because
general.
there's
No,
two points-
because you said
there are
that
two points
if
of view here.
you said if a cop asks you who you are, like you should tell them who you are. I'm saying no, they shouldn't know who I am if they just ask me who I am.
Well, they don't. You don't know what they're doing. You
that's
don't know.
that's not my problem. I don't have
what's
to
the
identify
reason?
myself.
That's where like you kind of have
It's
to because
that's
you
the
don't
point.
know what.
That's the point of being in a free country.
No.
And that's kind of I guess my point of view to answer your question, and we go back to that, is my point of view being from a person that's been asked what's give me who are you, and it being some bogus shit. So that to me leaves a bad taste in my mouth because now you're just fucking with me. It kind of
there will be like there's some people that will fuck with you. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah. So like that. So that is the problem. The problem is that you have people just fucking with people that shouldn't be fucking with people, and you have all these people just complying for the fuck around. Then they're gonna keep doing it. So that's why people are like, no, I'm gonna tell you who the fuck I am, and they just build this fucking tension, and it comes directly from the.
Hold on, you can always ask them why am I being stopped. Like that's within your right.
Oh yeah, but they don't. What do you mean? They don't answer that shit.
I don't. You'll be surprised.
No, I'm telling you, they would be like, oh, "Get the fuck out of here! Give me your fucking ID." Like they be this.
No, because they're. So, for example, I can talk only from traffic stops because I've never been just pulled by a cop randomly over while walking. Like that has never happened to me.
I mean, a cop asked me to give him my ID as I was sitting on the street, and I said why, and he said he arrested me.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So when you have these experiences, having a cop just demanding your ID to identify yourself. I went to jail.
No, I know, but like, tell me the story, because there's an arrest, and like, what was the action after? Like, did you file a complaint? Because in the arrest report,
my ignorant ass didn't know any better, so I just went and I was like, it's fucking.
What was the charge?
Resistant arrest. Yeah, so essentially what happened was that I was hanging out with my peoples. Literally down like, I don't know, I'd say about 50 feet from where I live. We're just like standing. We just like walked around, from like sparking up and shit. But we're not doing anything, and we're standing, and we're literally deciding where we're gonna go. We're like, so what are we gonna do? And this cruiser pulls up. And a guy, he's like, sticks his head out. Hey, you guys got to keep it moving. And I responded. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, we're just figuring out where we're going to go. He's like, what? No, you got to move. It's like, all right, we're going. We're just figuring out where we're going to go. He stops. He's like, what did you say? He gets out. I was like, what? I said we're going to figure out where we're going to go. We don't know if we're going to walk in that direction or in that direction. Just give me your ID. I'm like, why do I got to show you my ID? Boom, just grabs me, puts me up against the wall. I'm like, what's going on? Stop resisting. Boom. The other guy puts his hand on the gat, pushes my people away, and I got arrested. So I get taken to the and as he's driving, the same guy, the passenger, the one that arrested me, the one with the attitude, like looks back at me as I'm handcuffed, and it's like, what are you going to do with me right now? What would you want to do to me right now? And I'm just like staring at him, I'm like, dog, like I'm handcuffed. And like this is like the bitchest of bitch, It's like, and I hope you see this, but it's like like the most bitch move. Like
No,
started
yeah,
started
it's
instigating. So anyway, they took me in. I spent the night. Luckily, I was able to see the judge on a Saturday, which I was like really surprised because it happened on a Friday. And the judge was like, "If you do this again, you're gonna be like." I was on probation for a year for that shit, for that fucking rile up. But it was like, if you do this again, then I got in trouble for that.
That's funny.
You know.
That's
That's an experience. You already told you about the fire, about the one with the fireman. They have this other one, but it's like when you go to
you didn't want to book them because they were
yeah. Did I say the one in the diner?
yeah, they were like, what? I didn't see anything. Yeah.
No, did I say the one in the diner? No, that's the one. That's the other one. Anyway, regardless, my point being is that once you go through scenarios like this, where for just existing, you get into shit, you kind of start getting defensive when they approach you and they start questioning you. It's like
I was like that in the beginning too.
What do you mean?
I was like that. I kind of figured out, man. Like, you treat them like something, I don't know, like a pet alligator. Yeah, you feed it. But a motherfucker might snap at you any second and eat your ass. So
no. My point being is that I was never hostile. And yet you still going back to the general to what we're talking about. They have a right to know what you're doing and this and that bullshit, because even if you tell them, like, it doesn't matter when the problem is them. It's not us. The problem is them. Why are you asking me for my ID for just existing? In other words, I guess the deeper question: why are you getting hired to become a cop when you don't know shit about the law? When training is only a matter of weeks? When all you do is get roided up, work out, have a gun, and now you're a fucking asshole. Now all of a sudden you're immune to consequence. When all of a sudden you can fucking just fuck with people, you can fucking arrest people and fuck with their lives just for existing. It's not us that's a problem. They're the fucking problem. And the fact that I still see, I'm going more of a rant here. The fact that I still see that the fucking the blue line shit. The more of those flags I see, the more annoyed and angry I get, because it's like, you don't fucking get it. You don't fucking get it. If you're rocking a blue stripe flag, you're a fucking dumbass. You don't get it. You are literally the problem.
Yeah.
You with the blue line, you're the motherfucking problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dog, and it's a conflict that it's coming directly from them, because it's like getting mad at your teachers or your older siblings. It's like them getting mad at you for the way you grew up. It's like, motherfucker, you're the one that gave me the fucking you gave me the rules. You're the one that behaved this way. Now you're getting mad at me for fucking reacting, you dumbass. Like,
that's a very interesting topic, because when it's said that way and people have had those experiences, that really does seem wrong.
It is wrong.
And you're right, it is wrong. And there's, I don't know, like, there's this line where I constantly think when I'm interacting with a cop, it's like, okay, this is somebody that can snap at me at any moment. I have to do my best to de-escalate. And from what you're telling me, it really does seem that this dude should not be on the force. And you're right when you said there are no consequences for such actions, which is bonkers, because you give power to people not only who are willing to abuse it, but who are willing to change and vote certain way to keep that power, which is understandable because it is human nature.
Yeah, yeah. It's that animal instinct, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I still want to keep control.
I'm just trying to figure out that need of dominance. Like I'm trying to figure that. Like that's a very deep problem, right? Because
You know what's interesting about that though, is that as a species, we've survived because we are a social animal. Because we need each other. We become better when we work together. You know? Yeah, sometimes you need somebody to lead, like somebody has to have an idea so that we all work, like the collective experiment you were talking about that other episode. Once we have a goal together, like that's how we fucking succeed, man. That's how we move forward.
I mean,
When you try to put yourself
you
in front of some other people, like
dude, it happened. It happened briefly during the pandemic, but it also, what I think happened during the pandemic is that the world, for some reason, became a little more selfish. It was a little bit more about your immediate circle and not the whole, and it's also the fact that now we have such vast access to information that you can literally put horse blinds on yourself and just seek confirmation bias. You can literally impose confirmation bias on yourself. Because I was gonna argue a little bit against what you said, but then I started thinking, I'm like, okay, if that really happens to me, how would I react? Like, it hasn't happened to that extent yet, right? And
wait, what extent? What is
like that's some cop just pulled me over and asked me for my ID.
Like
There was one time that they did rough us up a little bit, but and why this happened is that like we're chilling in the front of Kruger in one of the buildings. There was this kid that was known for using heroin. I mean, to the point where he had a heroin needle tattooed and like syringe tattooed on his forearm over here. Yeah. It was entertaining.
Oh man!
And he was playing guitar.
That sucks.
And there was this other dude, I forgot who he was, that was sitting next to him. And then like it was an additional like 4 or 5 of us, like just in a small circle. And they were looking out like the same way that you said that cop was looking at you. But at that moment, the heroin dude passed a guitar pick to the dude sitting next to him, and they thought that it was a drug deal. So they just like squirged, got out of the car,
But it was known that he was a druggie.
Yeah, dude. And
So there was probable cause.
see, that's what I'm saying. And
So that's different.
like that's what I'm saying. Like that experience, like when I thought about it, I was like, wait a second, that's a totally different experience because there's probable cause over here.
Right.
Like, and I'm like, fuck. And I really have not had an experience that you have had like that.
Oh, man.
Ever with a police officer. Dude, I've been pulled over speeding, all that shit. Like,
You want me to tell you the one about the diner?
huh?
The diner one? Did I ever tell you that one?
No.
So this one, this was even before I was smoking or drinking, right? And it was I was with my homie, and homie, like and we're at the Raceway Diner, bro. So painting a picture real quick, just for the audience.
Or you can just put a picture right here of the Raceway Diner because they still have it.
No. I was talking about the inside.
Yeah, they have the
Oh,
pictures of this.
okay. So you see the picture. No, bro. Remember, you got to put it in like the weird directions.
Like, right here. Circle the spot.
So I'm essentially facing the door, and my dude is facing me, which is like facing each other. And the counter, the register, is right behind where he's sitting. He orders some food, and I'm not hungry, and I'm just sitting there. We're just like talking, like fucking just shit talking. And we're laughing. We're not being rowdy again, not doing no drugs or nothing. I'd say it's maybe around 10 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And this then the waitress comes and just okay, drops off the check whenever you're ready, just like kind of like throws it at us. And I'm like, oh, all right, that was weird. He just got his food. So we're sitting there, and then I don't know, a couple of minutes go by. This guy comes in, regular clothes, but he has a badge out. Comes up to us and he's like, "Hey, you guys gotta go." Like, excuse me? You guys are being too rowdy. You guys gotta leave. It's like, rowdy. It's like, and at this point my dude is eating, so I'm the one doing the talking. And I'm like, nobody's told us anything. We just got he just got food, and we're not, what's the problem? It's like, I don't care. No, the waitress telling me you guys are being too loud. You guys are like banging on the table. Like you guys got to go. Like, I'm like, all right. So then, are you gonna pay for the? So then we don't got to pay for the bill then. He's like, no, you got to pay for the bill. I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for the bill if you're not even gonna let my boy finish his food. This motherfucker, I kid you not, bro. Because it was one of those like seats, like a booth. And I'm like sitting towards the corner. He puts his hands like on the table and one on the seat and gets in my face. And he's like, "You are gonna get up. You're gonna get up." And at this point I'm like cocky as shit. And I'm like, bro. And I just look at him and I'm like, there's a camera right there and there's a camera right there. What are you gonna do? And like he just looks at me and like it just like backs off. But it's not like he leaves, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yeah, motherfucker, like, cause I'm like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? So this motherfucker gets up and like sits like freaking 5 feet away, and it's just staring at me, bro. Like this whole time, my boy is just like, he's just fucking like finishing his fucking, I don't forget, I think it was like a waffle or some shit. And we're just like, all right. We pay and we fucking and we leave, dude. We leave. There are 3 cruisers outside.
Damn, you're rowdy.
Yes, dude. Like, but nobody came up to us and said, "Hey, you guys are being loud." I was like, when was it when he was eating? When have I ever been like, I'm not like that fucking loud at a fucking diner. Like I'm, freaking polite and shit. But I was like, bro. So like I said, when you go through certain shit, you start losing trust in motherfuckers.
But did you pay for the bill at the end?
Yeah, because he finished his food. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, wait, when I was like, so we could just leave, right? He's like, oh, no, you got to pay. I was like, no, I'm not going to just leave. What? You out of your fucking mind? Bro.
Yeah, no, I have never been to that diner. I've avoided it like a plague, and I don't know why, but I guess I did the right choice. It never...
Like, I've been there. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I've been there before. I grew up in Yonkers, bro. I've been there before. I've been there with my family. I've been there with friends. This wasn't the first time there. But, orale way.
Yeah, no, he's like...
There you go.
Rowdy motherfuckers.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, yeah, man. Now, you'll see. Like, once you get a little bit more money, it was like that quote from Larry Cake. He goes, son, you're born in this world, you take shit. You go out, you try to make something, you take shit. You start working hard, you take even more shit. You climb a little higher and take a little less shit. And you climb a little higher and take a little less shit. Up until the day you're in the rarefied stratosphere, where you forgot how shit even smells like. And I was like, yo.
I hope that's a fucking thing,
dude,
man.
Like it is. And I'll tell you.
Man,
there was this episode of
I want to believe you, but when we had a black president, people were still fucking assholes.
Well, yeah, I mean, just people, bro.
Fucking just see Trump when he was like when he was being investigated, he was like Barack Hussein Obama. I was like, what the fuck? Why you emphasizing his middle name, son?
Hussein, yo. Hussein.
Oh no, not a name. Oh,
I mean, that
shit.
strikes people, though. I understand why he's saying it.
Oh no,
He's so pandering that it's amazing.
Oh, bro, it's so.
Bruh. Dude, it is.
Speaking about pandering, fucking Fox, because I follow them on YouTube, just because I want to hear them. Like it's so entertaining. It's so entertaining, bro. They had a video, and it's titled "Joe Rogan Explains the Real Reason for the Trump Raid," and it's an 11 minute is how long the Fox News clip is.
Mm-hmm.
They played like 5 seconds of the Joe Rogan clip, and it's just a clip of Joe Rogan being Joe Rogan. It's like he'd be like, "Oh, so do you think that's the reason?" He's just being
a comedian,
finding a topic interesting and questioning it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh," and but the whole clip, the 11-minute clip, is titled "Joe Rogan like the real reason." It's like, no, that's not what it was. So it's like, dude, it's so pandering. It's like. I have so much hope for the human race. I'm like, motherfuckers, you better see through that shit. Fucking no.
I mean, some do see through it, but
have the lighter, please.
But some really do not, and it's hilarious, and
it's unfortunate,
especially with the Trump case. Man, you're really looking at a master at work, and as much as I don't like it, I have to admire it because, dude,
Trump?
Yeah, dude, my dude took some secrets and they were like, yeah, you can keep it as long as it's in safe place. And like, why the fuck would you let that happen? Like, dude, and one thing about Trump, though, Tim Dilla said it on the Rogan podcast, Trump knows value. Trump fucking knows value. What he knows and what he took.
I gotta take a leak.
Is really, really fucking valuable. And dude, like it is sad to say, but that's a master work, and we should really learn. And there's certain freedoms of presidents that we have to cut out because you cannot let a has-been have access to those. And even more, I would definitely argue that you shouldn't have somebody that is, I don't know, like, it's weird. I think that should be some army general, super patriotic dude having access to those things, where he would rather swallow a cyanide pill than ever tell you a letter from those. Like, yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing that he was allowed to do that. It's extremely fucking dangerous, and like, I really hope that we learn from that shit, because that's something that should not happen ever again. That's like World War II. That shit should not happen. Like, nobody that is no longer an active servant of the public should have access to those records.
Yeah.
Let alone be able to take them home.
Bro.
Like,
I wanna. Oh,
but see, that's the thing between rich people and poor people, dude. Like, sometimes, like,
they get
how
to
much
be
trouble.
assholes.
You know how much trouble we'll be in if, let's say, I'm gonna play the race card over here so good right now. Let's say you're my driver of my Volkswagen. You drive, and I'm in the back seat drinking.
Yeah.
We get pulled over. That's a fucking wrap. Like, we're both going to jail for, like, even if you come up sober, we might not go to jail, but we're definitely getting tickets for open container. Meanwhile, if we were doing the same exact shit in a $500,000 Rolls Royce,
right,
it would be a totally different outcome.
So I don't think that's a race card. I just think that's a car card.
No, not the car card. Because the race card is where you're my driver.
But you said that if we're doing it in a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, but you're still my driver.
How is that a race card?
I don't know, because you're darker and I'm lighter and you work for me.
Oh, so you're saying that so if I was driving your Volkswagen, I get pulled over, but if I was driving your what is it, Rolls Royce or
Rolls
Royce
Royce.
Rolls? If I'm
Rolls
driving
Royce.
that one, the RR one,
Yeah.
am I gonna get pulled over as well?
No, you get pulled over.
Both of those.
Both of those.
Oh
you get
yeah,
pulled,
yeah, yeah.
You, get
You
pulled
wouldn't.
over.
Yeah.
you get pulled over, but in
Yeah.
the first case, in my Volkswagen, we both get a ticket for open container.
Oh, but in the Rolls Royce.
In the
you
Rolls
wouldn't.
Royce.
Oh, 100%.
Because it has a little fridge that
Oh yeah,
that has
no,
your
it's
sterling silver champagne glasses.
Because clearly we have money to sue the motherfucker that's pulling us over. You know,
that was standard,
that's
is
the
insane.
fucking difference. You know, and honestly, man, just in case you haven't seen our earlier episodes when we first started this, I grew up.
fucking screw up. You got introduced to the game and fucking blew up.
Yo, what's that for? Did you just write that? That's
Biggie.
Oh shit, it's Biggie. That's
Damn.
cool. Nah, I'm a fucking metalhead, bro. Shit, I forgot what I was saying.
Like
this fool.
there's
Oh
so-
no. So just to clarify, I grew up admiring cops. I thought that they were the shit. You know, that's who you go for help. And having a different view as an adult is unfortunate. I know that there's good cops out there, and some of them are like when they get reprimanded when they speak up and shit. Like that video with that female cop like pulls away this guy who's like fucking beating this guy that's already handcuffed, and he fucking like chokes her, like puts his hand on her throat. It's like, yo, thank you for that. But fuck you for that, you know? Man.
He means the other dude, just to be clear, so there's no miscommunication over here.
Yeah, for real, bro. Dang.
I mean,
Yeah.
Did you hear about that Rush Hour thing?
Rush Hour?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yeah. Man, I have
Jackie
to
Chan
rewatch it.
and
Chris
fucking
Tucker.
Chris Tucker. Oh,
Well, they
Jackie
were
Chan
like,
forever, bro.
They called it healthy racism
Wait.
because of all the jokes. No. If you hear the jokes, dude. If you hear the jokes.
Is this like a comedian or
No. Made it
this
to the
from?
news and everything. Like somebody said that on Twitter. Somebody said that
Rush Hour's healthy
What?
racism?
they said no. The first tweet about that was like Russia war into a mad racist, and then there was like a crying smiley face, I believe.
Yeah.
And then people they were like, yeah, that's what we call healthy racism, and they just started posting clips of like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan making. So when Jackie Chan goes to the bar, he's like, hey, what's up, my nigga?
What the fuck did you just say? Yo, it's such a good scene though. Oh man, I
And
don't want
then-
trouble.
And
fuck.
and then Chris Tucker catches this Chinese or like one of the villains. He's like, oh, I've been looking for your sour chicken ass, sweet and sour chicken ass. Yo.
Yeah, bro. Oh, that's a great topic, man. About how
It was just
how
two
jokes have
cultures
changed.
making
Yeah.
like not even ragging on each other. They're making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Like, yo, that was a
And it didn't at the time it didn't feel bad because
it still doesn't feel bad.
No,
Dude. It's
yeah,
hilarious.
Right,
Like,
right. No. I'm just trying to explain the time to those that may not have been around for that. I guess more commonly known as thick skin, but not to say that people don't have that, but it's just like that ability to joke around, you know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a great example. At the party, My brother was telling me how he ran into to Ariana a couple of years back, but the way she referred to me was like an insult, but like just kind of like, just like a word, like, hey, that motherfucker, hey,
pendejo,
yeah,
okay.
that, yeah. But to him it was like, well, like, nah, don't talk about my brother like that. But like that in my relationship,
With her, yeah, that's a
it's
term of
no,
endearment.
right. Those contexts, I guess, in the cultural entertainment area world, it is something like that, in which we lived in a time where it's like, no, man, I'm like making these certain jokes that were blatantly offensive in hindsight were hilarious, and
yeah.
are hilarious.
They're still hilarious, like-
There's no actual hate towards my Asian fam. There's no actual hate towards like my black fam. Like, there's no hate. I wouldn't say certain things, but I still enjoy certain things. As long as they maintain their harmlessness, because if something's gonna start causing pain on somebody, like if some racist person be like, "Hey, that means that fuck Asian people," no, fuck you. I got your back. But
That
you know what
brings
I'm
me to
saying?
that song. Remember Cheech and Chong, when he was like, when Cheech,
Beaners. I love that shit. That's one of my favorite songs, bro. I sing that shit to myself when I'm walking, always. Beaners. Beaners. They like beans. It's true.
It's true.
Beans are delicious.
They are full of protein too.
Hell yeah, bro. I didn't know how much protein I was eating my whole life.
I think that's why when speaking, you really have to know your audience.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that I have become very mindful of, is to whom I can make jokes and about what, and like to whom I can say like true things about what. Did you hear that fucking mosquito, by the way?
What mosquito?
There was a mosquito over here. It's like
Nope.
it's like the motherfucker be
Oh, he
eating me
got
all
me.
night. Like he be eating me all night
Oh
long.
man.
He's like,
That's why
yeah,
you wear pants. Pants that you roll up.
but yeah, man,
Oh,
like
dang, dude.
it's a thing, and you're right. Like a lot of that will get lost in the context, and Rush Hour,
Context, bro.
yeah. Rush Hour 1 and 2, we already got the context. Because the context was that they just became friends. In the beginning, they were like hesitant to work with each other because they had completely different styles, but those styles ended up complementing each other.
Yeah, bro.
And-
like when they first meet, and Jackie Chan fucking like talks to him. It's like, I knew English, blah, 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 blah. And he just fucking stares at him. It's like, what the hell did you just say? Like, that's hilarious. I don't even like to talk. I could he just
Yeah. I wish there were more cops like
man.
that. Like, that would be funny.
Oh,
See,
bro.
if cops were that funny, that would be
Dude.
something.
either let my people smoke weed or mandatory therapy. Like one or the other.
No.
One or the
Mandatory
other,
therapy
bro.
and days off.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Just I don't
Even
I don't want
though-
to get rid of them, bro. Like I if I need some help, there was I forgot, I don't know what state it was, but the police department was being investigated for something, so they decided to go and it seemed that I'll put the links and shit. But it seemed that the reason why they're being investigated was because an officer did some fucked up shit.
Uh-huh.
But they decided to be like, all right, if you guys are complaining, we're not gonna do anything. And some lady called in because she had an invader in her house, and they didn't do shit. They were like, oh, sorry, we're not doing anything. Like, they picked up the phone. They're like, nah, we ain't doing nothing. And this lady got hurt.
Damn.
That's not, you know what I'm saying? Like
That is something.
that's not cool, man. That's not nice. we gotta care for each other.
We gotta care for each other. Become a cop.
Oh man.
Become a cop.
Yeah,
Change the
for
system
real.
within. Which,
yeah.
so
Yo,
speaking of the system,
do you guys take 36-year-old cops? So I could just like talk to all of you. I think I think all
like
of you just need a fucking ear, man. You guys just need somebody to talk to. Like I got you. Like fuck.
Nah, man. Some of those dudes fucking do really get like wired up, and if I was in their spot, probably I'll be wired up too, because there's some.
Then I wouldn't
certain
want you to be. Would you agree though that they shouldn't be in that spot?
Yeah, but then who the fuck is gonna be in that spot then?
Doesn't matter. You shouldn't be in that spot.
Yeah, definitely. If you don't like it, you're free to leave. Just money's so good. Like that's the other thing, man. Like I saw the other day an IRS job posted for 180K a year for IRS revenue agent or IRS agent, whatever. Dude, then I spoke to my friend who lives in Miami, and we're talking. He was like, "Hey, I had a client once that was something similar, making $250 a year." I was like, "What the fuck?" And then, well, that was actually before that. I learned that there's a huge shortage of accountants.
What? I should become an accountant, is what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, definitely. I always advocate for people to become accountants. You need to know how money moves and where money goes and how you spend your money. Like that's not only personal finance. Accounting is something that it's a verifiable science. Like, yeah, there's a lot of guesses inside, but it is really a puzzle. It is really, how do I communicate what is happening financially in a way that people can understand? And it is like, dude, so I am a revenue accountant. That's my profession. What I do is I read the contracts of a company, and then I decide what and how we should recognize revenue. Because there's one beautiful thing about accounting, and it's called the matching principle. And that states, and that's one of the laws actually, it states that revenues or the money you take in should be matched to expenses or the money you pay to generate those revenues. So they should always be, in a way, a balance. And one of the best things is why do we do that? And I'll give an example. It's called deferred revenue, and it's basically if, let's say, I give you money for 20 shirts, but you have not given me the shirts yet, right? So you have to go buy the shirts, put the print on it, pack it, ship it to me, right? Now, I gave you the cash before you ever did that work. Mm-hmm. And if we did not have that matching principle, then you can say, hey, guess what? George gave me $25,000 for these 20 shirts to print custom. I got revenue. But in reality, he did not perform any of the work. And if you decide not to perform the work, you have to you have to return the money to me by law, because you did not perform your contractual obligation.
If I didn't deliver the shirts.
Yeah, if you didn't deliver shirts. But when you deliver the shirts, then, you subtract your expenses from what I gave you. And then you can say, hey, I actually now made $25,000 for this. And those $25,000, it cost me, let's say, $10,000 to make those shirts. So now what I keep for myself is $15,000. But I have to pay my accountant, I have to pay my business manager, I have to pay the rent, like all that shit.
So it's calculating everything.
Yeah,
every expense.
Every expense and every income you have.
Right.
And it's like it's very, very interesting. And there are people that spend their life and their career just trying to figure this shit out, because the more you know, the more complicated it becomes. And I think that's like one thing about the world, is the more you know about the world and the more you evolve in your thinking, the more you're like, oh shit, I need to get familiar with this thing, with that thing.
The more you realize you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it is
agreed.
bonkers.
Yeah.
It's I think that you have achieved maturity when you realize that.
Bro. Yeah.
Because that's a very core principle, at least from my experiences so far and from where I've been. That is a very
Yeah.
that's the very thing of life. That's the very nature of life. Is you have to constantly be not only improving but taking deeper dives or specializing in the things that you enjoy doing. And like if it's talking to people, you have to be a great communicator. You have to understand how to use language as a tool to get out the information, because at the end of the day, that's the nature of communication. You exchange information.
Yeah.
Even if it's a comedy stand-up show, right? Like the jokes.
That's freaking everything, bro. Even people that can't speak, we've come up with a way to communicate. And if you can't see, we've come up with a way to communicate.
I hope this is right, but like, sign language, American Sign Language. So apparently this is the sign for glitter. And I was like,
glitter? Oh, that's great. That's great.
I was like, this is so cool.
I think this one is Mexican. Yeah.
Really?
I'm pretty sure is that. I'm pretty sure.
That is funny.
I remember because I remember.
That's how I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
From now
on. I'll confirm, but I'm pretty sure because I remember. Unless I misunderstood the joke, but one of my lady's cousins, she deals with a lot of sign language and stuff. She told me, it's like, oh, that's what Mexican. So I'm like, oh, that's what real Mexican means then, It's like I'm a really, really, really.
Did you ask her why it's this?
Nah, I mean, maybe. I don't remember, though. All I remember is what it was. But isn't that, you've seen those videos of those like rappers, like in live shows, and they have the translators, the sign language translators. Bro, they are amazing. They have them for like Eminem and shit. This motherfucker be speaking dumb fast. She'd be like, it looks so freaking dope. Excuse me. Yeah,
that is probably one of the very few arts that you can translate towards it and not have to feel the beat, or you will feel the beat because it's mostly bass.
Yeah, you feel like, bro.
Do you think that deaf people use other methods and other senses to experience sound? That's something that I would like to really dive into.
Yeah, we could look into that. We could definitely look into that.
Oh, yeah. I think we should talk about, you know what? Let's make a commitment. We'll talk about it on the next episode.
Ooh, all right. I love it. Next episode, we're gonna look into this.
There was that one movie, and it was about this DJ who lost his hearing, and his latest album was, he did it when he was deaf. And
was it based on Beethoven's life?
No. But I guess it's close. Yeah, I that's another thing. I don't know much about Beethoven, to be honest, but I know that at one point he went deaf. I just didn't know if he composed after going deaf.
Not much. It was like towards the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just wonder if people can adapt to hear sound using different senses.
Oh, dude, we gotta save this for the next one. But
definitely.
Because what is music to you?
A bunch of sounds combined together that I like.
Yeah.
Like
today I was playing. I was on my way to the gym, and I was playing this album, Soilwork by the band Soilwork, Figure Number 5. And I specifically remember it brought me back. Like, that's one of the things that I love about music. It brought me back to the pool hall on Tuckahoe Road across the street from Roosevelt High School in Yonkers.
The underground one.
Huh?
The underground one.
Yeah. Hanging out with my band from back in the day. Like, this was like
Senor
03, 04. No, this is like out of high school. Yeah, no, this is A Block. It's 03, 04, just hanging out, shooting, playing pool, and my homie put us on to this band Soilwork, and I remember listening to this one song from that album over and over again, just because it was so good. It just like it hit everything at the moment. It was like it started hard, but then it went to this melodic thing, and when playing that, so brought back that feeling, like that memory, that time, and that's kind of the connection that I have with music. It's
Evokes memories.
it's it's like evokes memories, and there's just moments where you just you can't believe the notes that you're hearing, and they're just so beautiful. You know what I'm talking about? It's a good example if anybody wants to check it out. Cannons, they covered "Golden" by I forget his name, but anyway, Cannons covered the song "Golden" and just
Link
like,
below.
yeah, the link below. And there's just this part where like the notes, it just like hits so right, and it's just like you like feel it. You're like, ning, ning. It's just so good, bro. It's just so good. When I listen to music, I listen to the melody first. At least not I listen to it first. That's just what I hear first. I would just hear the composition, like how it the whole thing sounds, and if there's words, then I'll look up and see what the words are. To you, well, how do you listen to music?
The other way. Definitely that's why I like rap the most, probably.
Ooh.
It's because I like what it's being said versus what's on the background. Like, especially if it's singing.
Oh, man.
If it's singing involved, and that's one thing why I couldn't get into a lot of heavy metal bands, is because the melody overpowered what they're saying. Not that they were saying something prophetic or like life changing. I think that's the job of rappers, to be honest. But because it's just the way the way it is delivered in rap, the melody is always second. It's always about what is being said and how it is being said. And melody comes second. Like you can just have a bass drum and somebody can rap over that. With metal is the opposite, right? Well, so metal, classical music. Even though I enjoy classical music, because I cannot do opera. Opera for me is when they start singing, especially in languages that I like that I don't understand.
That's my favorite,
dude. But like then there's like another thing, because that's what they're singing is actually supposed to be said, and I'm like, man, like that sucks over this like classical music. Now musicals I actually enjoy, because musicals
I don't like musicals.
Really,
But
yeah.
I enjoy some of them, but they're not my fave.
Yeah, no, musicals,
Yeah.
there's something different, because the way they're saying things also floats with the melody,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, I understand, and like they're actually communicating, and I think that's what I like. It's the fact that they're communicating through songs versus communicating through speech, and I always found that fascinating. On a lot of levels.
Yeah. Oh, that's so wild, because to me it's so opposite. I understand what they're saying. You know, when you're focusing on the words, but it's so funny because it also reminds me of songs that are traditionally in English, and they'll cover them, and they'll be like a Spanish band, and they'll cover them in Spanish, and they'll try to keep the melody, but they'll change the words. But the words are part of the melody,
Yeah.
so now it sounds weird.
Yeah.
You know, and it happens when they translate it in either way. Because to me, when I hear one of my favorite things actually from one of the singers in my old bands was that he could sing in different languages. So I like that because okay, now sing it in Portuguese, sing it in Spanish. Your flow is different. Porque when I'm talking like this, you know, I sound like this. Pero cuando empiezo a hablar así, my tone is different, you know, and that like changes.
Everything is different. Tone,
right,
timing.
and right. So to me, there's times where, till this day, I told you about this band. I don't know if it's a band. There you go. I don't even know if it's a band or if it's a guy. Miyagi. I think it's some sort of European band.
Named after a fictional character. That's
and like I have two of their songs on my playlist. One of them is When I Win, and the other one I don't know the name of the other one, but I don't know what the fuck they're saying. But I fucking love these freaking songs.
Yeah,
and I don't want, and like to the point where I asked my boy who was Russian, like this was years ago. I was like, yo. I told him, I was like, I really like this song. Can you listen to it? And should I listen to the lyrics? And he's like, nah, don't listen to the lyrics.
damn.
So because of that, I'm not gonna listen to that. I don't want to know the lyrics because I fucking love this song. You know, I was like, it's like den.
The only style style of music that I can get to listen to without understanding the lyrics.
Rammstein.
Oh, I mean, of course. Actually, they do have a concert on the 6th. I might go. I don't know yet.
Oh shit, for real?
Yeah, man, they have a concert somewhere. Like
so many good concerts, man.
Dude, the Red Hot. You know what I was pissed about? So the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing in MetLife. The opening band was The Strokes, and I was like, and my boys were like, yeah. It's
how much were the tickets though?
They were affordable because it's like MetLife Stadium, so you have like nosebleeds. You can get probably for like $20 a ticket. But
I would come so hard if I saw the Strokes live, bro.
Yo, and you know what? The fact that the people that were there, the people that were there were not appreciating it. They were like, yeah, we don't know who the fuck the Strokes is. I'm like, what?
The Strokes,
dude, like
fucking ever, bro.
Geniuses. I mean, I think I definitely prefer them to Red Hot Chili Peppers, just because of the melody.
Yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're awesome. No, I mean the Strokes is one of my top favorite bands. The Strokes and Jaguares. In reality, is Julian Casablancas and Saúl Hernández. My most favorite, hands down, musical writers.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice, yeah.
So Saúl Hernández, he's he writes most of the music and lyrics for the band Caifanes, and then he started Jaguares, which is the one that I got into, which is so amazing. And then of course Julian
about the
Casablancas.
Caifanes, you want to go to that concert?
Oh my god, bro! What? Of course, absolutely. Oh shit!
All right, Shorty, we're gonna take a look at when the concert is. We'll get back to you because I remember her asking, man. Like, shout out to her. By the way, makes dope ass cakes.
Yeah,
go get some. But she was talking about it. I'm like, you know what? I can get behind Caifanes.
Yo, there's again. Like, it's just.
I know none of the songs though, but
it's so good. And Julian Casablancas is the bomb.com.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. So, yeah, those concerts, like Rammstein is coming too. There are a couple others.
Rammstein is fucking bananas.
I don't know.
Rammstein is bananas, bro.
I'll be honest, man. If
you saw the video where they shoot the bazookas and then it comes back.
They idiots. But
they're fucking awesome. They're so good. They are the cool kid always.
Yo, for real. See, that's my struggle because one thing that I truly miss that I started doing before the pandemic that I did not do it as of recently, going to comedy shows.
Oh, man.
And comedy shows for me are like so important because I get to hear different people's perspective that make me laugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like if I have to choose between Rammstein and a comedy show, definitely a comedy show. And that's why I'm like,
For real?
yeah. Even though Rammstein is something from my childhood, all that shit, I think just the
Right, but that also says about who you are, you know?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fair, bro.
I much rather, because
I haven't been to a concert in a while.
Rammstein in a concert,
Like a metal show.
like a metal show. First of all, I despise fucking mosh pits. I don't like them one bit. One fucking bit. Like there's nothing.
You don't gotta partake, bro.
No,
You don't
I
have to get
understand.
in.
Yeah, I totally get it. I understand that. I understand I don't have to partake.
So
any
what
of
is it that you don't like about them?
No, because I've been pushed into one accidentally during a metal show.
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
you
not
gotta,
what-
you gotta pay attention.
and
Because all of a sudden you look around, it's like, oh shit, they're around me.
dude, it was. I think
man.
I told you the story. Like it was my boy that did it, and we went to this rave party, and all of a sudden this. So apparently everybody
Wait,
went
there
to
was
see
a
this.
rave party and there was a mosh pit?
It gets better. It was a rave party, but one of the DJs was a very famous DJ of mixing, like hard metal songs where people mosh.
Yeah, yeah.
And he came on.
I know the type.
He came on, and dude, I was like, in the beginning, they were like 20 rows away from us because we were not in a skate ring, so everybody was kind of like together. So this motherfucker comes on, my boy loses his fucking mind. All of a sudden, about like 20 rows in front of us, some people start pushing each other, and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to take part in that. Like, that's not fun. Like, that is not, like, I enjoyed the music, but the rest was, like, I was not about like, to get, like, over there. Dude, not even a minute later, I went around to look for him. When I say I went around, what I did is I turned around. And then I was like, oh, shit, I cannot find this motherfucker. And at that point, the mosh pit has grown to the point where it's like 2 people in front of me. And I'm like, maybe I should get the fuck out of here. Like, not what I'm looking for tonight. Because like, I was more into that like flashlight thing where like they were blinking the lights.
You're a raver. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm definitely going to do that shit. Dude, then the first line guy gets pushed in. And I'm like, let me take another look for my friend. And as I turn around, this motherfucker jumps up behind me and pushes me into the mosh pit. And all
Was that your friend that pushed you or somebody else?
No, that was my friend.
Oh.
Dude, and all of a sudden, I'm in the middle of like 60 people fucking pushing the shit out of each other.
Were there any fists or just pushing?
No, just, it was like fist and, no fists, but definitely elbows and pushing.
Okay. Right. Just like
yeah. And but like they were running like they were playing football without any of the protective gear.
No, I got you.
And all of a sudden, I see this big ass motherfucker, twice my size at least.
Oh,
just bulking towards me.
Oh,
Yo.
there's always those. You gotta be ready for those, bro.
And
It's like a video
like
game.
that.
Yeah.
And he goes and he just boom, gave me a shoulder, sent me flying. Dude, I landed on my ass and my hands.
Oh, dang.
I couldn't feel my wrists or anything from here down for 30 minutes. Dude, I cried. I got the fuck out of there as soon as I thought I had broken both of my wrists.
How old were you?
17.
Oh, damn, yeah.
Maybe 16. 2002. No, 2003. 16 going on 17.
Wow.
Like late 16. Like 16, 9 months, 16, 10 months.
Yeah.
Bro. I remember going to the bench.
Yeah.
Where, you know how people put their roller skates on? Like they have that area. And I'm like crying. Both of my fucking hands are red. Damn. I cannot feel. I can move them, but I cannot feel anything. And like 20 minutes later, my book comes in. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck? I just push you to have fun." And I'm like, "Dude."
I just push.
I was like, I am in
Even
such pain
friends,
right
when they
now.
mean well, they'll
Yeah.
hurt you.
No, he was also high on E. Like,
Oh, there you go.
dude, like, yeah, he went to that. So before that, we went
Are
to
you
this.
okay?
We went to this pool hall on Fordham Road,
Yeah.
and there was this. I don't know why the fuck I remember this shit so vividly. Like something stuck with me about
Yeah,
that pool hall.
your fucking hands weren't working. You thought they were fucking gonna get amputated. Probably.
Yeah, but that was like that was like way
this
before
is
that.
bananas, man.
That was way before that. So
Oh man.
he,
I keep talking over here. I should be talking over here.
yeah,
See, I'm terrible
spinning.
at this.
you're
Yeah.
spinning. So
I need a headset. That's what
Yeah.
I need, so that this way, anytime I move, I'm like, you know.
let me tell you part of the story. So
Sorry,
I give
bro.
you a full background of what really
Do
happened.
it.
This motherfucker, he was a Bulgarian kid, so he's in the Navy now.
Typical.
He's in the Navy now, and like in the beginning, he was listening to hardcore metal. So I met him in 1999. So 1999 hardcore metal, 2000 hardcore metal, 2001 hardcore metal. But we're talking about like Slayer, like everything, and like
Yeah, heavy shit.
yeah. And I'm like, hey,
Those
cool.
listening to
He used to
Linkin
live in
Park.
the projects. He was actually the only white family in the projects.
Okay.
So I go visit him. We fucking do this shit. And 2002 was about when I kind of figured out weed, but I had that bad experience with weed.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to smoke anymore. Anyway, he calls me up probably around February or January. And he's like, yo, I have an extra ticket to this rave party, and there's going to be this dope-ass DJ that spins metal. You want to come? And I'm like, sure. So we meet up around the D, the D train. We take the D train to Fordham. No, I'm totally fucking lying. We took the bus to Fordham
Okay.
to go to the pool hall, and I'm like 16, like going on 17, fucking don't know what the fuck is going on. This motherfucker just walks in, and that pool hall was like known for underage drinking. That's actually the reason why they got closed. Underage drinking. Not the drugs that they were selling inside or the guns. No, none of that.
Jesus Christ.
Underage drinking. So, some of my friends that listen to the podcast, you know exactly which pool hall in Fordham Road I'm talking about. So we go there, and
Please share your stories in the comments below.
so we go there, and then I remember that there was this bright, okay, so it wasn't bright, but it was this classy ass deep green Mercedes-Benz S-Class, like the big ones.
S class?
SS.
Oh, S class.
Yeah,
Oh,
S.
my
It was
bad.
like S500 from let's say early 2000s. Fucking gorgeous, which has been my dream car forever, because like that car is the first one to come with a soft close where you don't have to slam the door. You just like the second it touches the thing, it's like sucks it in. It has double isolated windows.
Oh, it was just like,
Yeah, dude,
That's
it's
cool.
it's fucking amazing.
That's
It's
awesome.
like
I like that.
that is the most boss shit I've ever experienced in a car. They have double windows, so you don't hear the outside. Like it,
what?
yo, I am telling you,
That
was
sounds a little dangerous, because what if there's like police or ambulance? But hey,
no,
man.
no. Those sounds get in.
Oh,
They
but just like
yeah, but
an extra
dude,
insulation.
yeah,
That's fucking
dude.
dope.
The glass was like this thick.
That's
It was a
cool.
double glass. Extra insulation, like you cannot hear. Like whatever the fuck is happening outside of your Mercedes at the time did not matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
my
the world-
Mercedes.
The world could be going to fucking shit, and you'll be comfortable. Like
That's
straight
the
up.
goal, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
survive, man.
So.
As
We
a
go there,
community.
he walks in, and he's like, yeah, man, something. We had to wait for about like 30 minutes. And then he comes out, he's like, yeah, I'm good, let's go. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He's like, yeah, I got some e-pills. Like, what the fuck? And I know e-pills. The reason I know them because I was always interested in drugs after the bad experience with Bud, and read a lot about like what e-pills do to you, and like how you should be careful of dehydration and like all that shit.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm not taking that shit. So he gave me a pill, and I pretended to take it. But you know, like those times where, like, when they're not looking, you like throw it back, and then you're like, yo, just give me the bottle of water, man. Like, I need to drink to swallow the pill. But like that's what I did. So I threw it in the back, whatever. We go to the rave. First few DJs, rave DJs, and he's like, yeah, right about now the E should be kicking in. And they start like spitting these flashing lights in front of my face, which looked so stupid while sober. I still remember vividly. I'm like, yeah, this is fucking boring. I have to pretend that I'm high. So I just open up my mouth a little bit and just let drool. I was like, I don't want to be that sucker.
Hey, you do what you got to do, bro.
Yeah, for real. Like,
wow.
So, and then after those, that fucking DJ came about. And I was like, yeah, no. And since then, my taste for metal music went down 99.9%. Like, I would listen to some classics in my car, but I would never go to a concert.
Oh, man.
And that's why it's so, like, that's why when I think about it.
So good, bro.
Like, when I think about it, that's why I'm like, comedy show versus Rammstein concert. Yeah, comedy show hits hard.
Oh,
like,
no. Metal concert, always.
Dude, like, there has to be somebody that has stage 4 cancer that's out there performing for me to go. And I have to like the band. I have to like the band. Like, that's the only time
I think I've had like some of my best memories just going to a metal concert, or just a concert in general, just going to the mosh pit, fucking rocking out. You know, like I said, you don't have to be in the pit if you don't want to. You could always just go to the side or to the back. Don't go to the front. Don't never rush to the front because you're gonna get smushed. But yeah, number one, just always be aware. Just always look around because that pit will circle around you. You don't even know that you're a part of it. Now they're coming for you.
Yeah, like,
and you know what's funny, because there's different types of pits also. A lot of foreign, I guess. Yeah. USA pits, American pits, they're violent. There's fists and there's kicks. Most international ones, like if a Spanish band comes to town, they're just like what we're doing, the pushing and the elbows, just like that, just jumping around and like celebrating. American bands, it's fucking just violence. Why? I don't know. That's just what happens, and it just gets wild.
It's the same bullshit.
Like, you stay away, and you just gotta like, hey, that's cool.
Dude, it's the same fucking bullshit with drinking games. That is the most disgusting shit.
Drinking games. Wait, like I don't mind beer pong. Those are
the ones I hate the most.
What do you hate beer pong for?
Why, you just can't stand there, fucking have a beer like a normal person in conversation?
You
have to aim for like different cups.
Oh, you can still play the game.
Shit.
You can still play the game.
Are you that bored at a party that you're like, nah, I'd much rather just throw a bowl into another cup so I can drink?
Sometimes it's fun. No. You're playing it wrong. No. You
listen. I'm not playing it wrong because I did a nipple shot. All right.
No, hold on.
Like,
no,
that's my claim to fame,
when you play beer pong, at least every time I've played beer pong at this point, it's just you fill the cups up with water. I mean, it's just a game. You're drinking your own thing and you're on the side. It's just a game.
Why do you need to be?
You don't need a game. It's just a game. It's like, hey, do you want to play a game while you drink? Yeah. I like activities while I'm drinking.
Fuck, now you're changing my mind.
You know, because if I'm just standing there,
you're
like,
changing my mind.
Yeah,
Because then I'm like, when I play poker,
like
I drink, but I don't drink as much.
It's
but
just
I still
a game.
Drink.
It's just a game. Yeah, you can, if you want to, you could like drink when you make it or not. Some people do, some people don't.
Fuck that, man. Like when I'm drinking, I'm all for the conversation. Like that's it.
Right.
Like I want to know who the fuck you are. What's your life experience like?
Yeah.
You know.
Who are you? Who?
Oh yeah, that's one of
really
the.
wanna. That's a great song.
It's a great song. Some British bands like really nailed it, man. And then I don't know what happened.
The Brits did it, man.
No,
they
ain't
gave
doing it
us
no more.
Zeppelin. They give us the Floyd,
The Beatles,
the Who.
Yeah,
Like,
the Who.
no, the Brits. They did
the Subways.
Yeah, the Subways.
The Sex Pistols.
Yeah, no, they did.
Oh,
good.
let's see how many bands we can name with starting with the Jackson 5.
The Strokes.
Shit. The Heavy.
The Cranberries.
The
Monkeys.
The Ramones.
The Monkeys. The Ramones.
The Gorillaz.
The Rolling Stones.
Why are you playing a game?
I don't know. This is where we are now, man. The Thus.
Oh, the verse is good.
The
Yeah.
Cypher.
Who's the Cypher?
Cypher. My
Oh.
bad. Old school.
Oh, that's like super old school. Because I remember Senor the Cypher, but not the Cypher.
Yeah, that was part of it, bro. You know, we gotta read between the lines.
Okay, whatever.
Oh man.
Wait,
no. But
the Police.
The Police. Yeah, that's a good one. The Queen.
No, that's not.
I know.
The Backstreet Boys.
The Backstreet Boys. The NSYNC.
No,
The Britney Spears.
Wait.
The Jessica Simpson. The Michael Jackson. I really think the Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. That's actually a good one. The artist, right? That's an actual one.
The Kanye West.
The Kanye West. Oh man.
No, this is hilarious. Yo, there's a lot of
The Primus. The Metallica.
the living. No, I was gonna say the Cucumbers, but there's no such band.
We are starting a band and it's called the Cucumbers.
The Cucumbers.
The first song's called Pickle Rick.
Pickles.
The Pickles.
The pickle. Yo, that's another thing that I was thinking.
Pickles.
Man, you know what? If I was an artist and I like
What?
let me tell you. So
If
this
I
is
was
no. So on the way over here, I was thinking.
Whoa.
Well, no. Let me rephrase that. While we're having this podcast, and you were talking about some other band, about the music, and I was like, man, I wish there was a band that would just say the album and like just to fuck with people and make it chronological. So, for example, your first album is the first album, and then song number 1 is just named song number 1, song number 2, and like that for every single album. So the third album will be the third album, song number 1. It's
Song
like
number 1
coordinates
from the third album. Song number 2 from the third album.
And then when you're talking to people, you can be like, "Yo, song number 2 from the third album."
Oh, I like that.
Dude, that is what?
I may do that. I like that.
That is a great fucking
That's
idea.
a great story, just in and of itself.
Yeah, because you're legitimately giving people coordinates.
Yeah. All you gotta know is who's the artist, and then you could find them.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love that.
That is a good idea. It
Yeah.
should be done.
Where we at? What's the timestamp?
1:29. I say let's record like an additional 10 minutes, and you see, like he wants to leave already, man. Like how fucked up is that shit?
I just want to know where we at.
Forgive
my burps.
We at where we're supposed to be.
No.
Dude, so yeah. Man, yo, please do that. That'll be cool. That'll be
You got
great,
it, bro.
Because that is such a like it's like a cartography type thing. Right? Because you can also build a story out of it. Like
Dude, music, it's it really is amazing.
oh, by the way, do you have HBO Max?
Yes.
Did you get to see the new Game of Thrones?
No, I'm probably not gonna.
Yeah,
I've never
it's
seen.
bullshit.
I've never seen any of the Game of
Don't.
Thrones.
It's bullshit.
Oh, please explain.
I don't know. I didn't like it. Like that's all I can say.
Have you seen the other episodes? The other
So
seasons?
no.
This is your first time trying Game of Thrones?
No, this is my third or fourth episode that I've seen.
What are the other episodes that you've seen?
When I stopped watching it, and
What have you seen?
I'm
Sorry.
getting there. So when I stopped watching it, the reason I stopped watching it, and I honestly I don't think I have ever gotten so angry about time wasting.
Ooh.
Where it's like, man, those 4 hours I can never get back, and this is bullshit. So I started watching the last season of the Game of Thrones, and I think I saw episode 1, and then another episode, and then I saw the one where the Night King or the Ice King, whatever, the bad guy, got killed by the sneak attack. And I lost my shit. I
Why
legitimately,
did you lose your shit?
dude, because it was so dissatisfying. Yeah.
What were you expecting and what did you get?
Better battle. I really did expect a better battle. I did not expect
What was it
him
about?
to underestimate her to the point where such a simple sneak attack can work on him.
Oh, so the story. You didn't like the story.
Like, I was like, fuck, like, dude, I think at that point I cursed so much.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, fuck you, you piece of shit writers. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, he never, ever underestimated any enemy before.
But so
Like-
they just like wrote it in and that's why he won. Oh, that's
And it's like, to me, it's like, do you not understand what the fuck you just did? Like, not only did you tell the whole world that once you fuck up, that's it, which is stupid, but you legitimately told everybody that the Night King did not make any mistakes, and the one and only mistake he made was so underwhelming that no person in their right state of mind would ever make that mistake. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you legitimately told everybody that he went into battle without doing his homework. Like, nobody does that. Like, we have professional sports where people go and punch each other in the face and they study each other so much. Like,
especially if they've already showed that that's what he does or they do.
I mean, I don't know. Like I don't think that it was then feasible to be like, oh, he's winning because of sheer evil. Because, like, no, there's intelligence behind that evil. That you cannot just say he's winning because he's evil. Like, that makes no fucking sense. And if that's why I didn't even want to rewatch like, not rewatch, but like watch the earlier seasons, because it's like no. Like, if this is the ending that you're gonna give, dude, it's like the cherry on top of the sundae sucks. And I'm like, oh no, you lost like all my interest. And then with this new one, man, I really tried. And I think I prefer because have you seen Succession?
No.
Okay, so it's another HBO show. You should watch it. It's very interesting. A lot of cursing and a lot of characters in there.
Okay.
But, like, I much rather, and you would see if you've watched all the Games of Thrones. Have you?
No. I haven't seen a single one.
Oh, good. Keep it that way, man. Don't be disappointed.
I mean, I've seen clips. I've seen this one clip which I thought was pretty like gory.
They're all gory.
Where the guy like smashes the guy's skull. Like, they're like fighting, and this big dude just like smashes his skull, and then he's like crazy. I think he like the guy like killed his wife and his kid or something, or like
I mean, whatever. As long as he skull fuck him afterwards.
I don't know. Maybe he did. I was like, it was just a clip. Yeah, I don't know. I've just, I'm very.
Would you skull fuck? Would you skull fuck somebody that hurts somebody you love?
No, I don't think. I don't know how I would get any pleasure out of that. I think I would want to.
No. It has zero to do with pleasure and everything to do with revenge and pure brutality.
Revenge. That's a revenge fuck. Oh man, I don't
No,
know.
not even a revenge fuck.
That literally is a revenge fuck because you're like fucking a skull in revenge.
No,
So
I wouldn't do it with a skull, but I'll definitely fucking stick my dick in the eye socket while they're still
That's
alive.
a skull, bro. That's part of the skull.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's a
Would you
revenge
skull
fuck.
fuck them alive or dead?
I wouldn't want to skull fuck anybody.
No, we're not talking about that. Imagine it happened, and then you got the motherfucker,
It depends.
and now he's alive.
What did they do? Who was the person?
They
what
hurt
happened?
somebody you really love,
I
so you
don't
so it can
think-
rape and kill. Let's say something severe, like rape and kill.
'Cause
that's the only one
I wouldn't want to.
Skull fuck them.
No, I think I would. I mean, in that crazy ass violent scenario, the most passive thing I would do is probably start peeling their skin off, like a piece at a time. You know, I think that may be.
But
the
like
nicest
nothing
thing.
before that.
I wouldn't fuck a thing. No, I don't even know if I'd be hard. That'd be so weird if I'm hard.
It's okay.
Around
Use
this
a strap
person,
on. Nobody
you know.
cares.
Well, if I'm using like a phallic thing to hurt this person, actually, then maybe yeah. But I wouldn't like, you know. I
See,
wouldn't
that's
be
so hard for me because like I'm.
Ew, that's so hard for you.
It's like it's like disheartening to the point where I'm like, man, am I that type of monster? But I think I am sometimes when it comes to like that. Like, dude, yeah. I would make sure that I'm hard, even if I don't want to be. Like,
Oh, that's crazy.
like Viagra,
wild.
porn, whatever. Like,
Hey, if you do what you gotta do, man, you know, just
yeah, that's the weird part. Like, I'm trying to understand why this is happening. Like,
I mean-
why is that? Even though it hasn't happened, right? It's just a
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
hypothetical,
yeah.
and I'm going to that extreme.
Absolutely. I mean, but also in this hypothetical, we have to imagine that the perpetrator did something terrible, something horrific.
Yeah.
Like
They
abuse,
definitely, yeah.
something like you know, in that sense, that kind of like we've spoken before, that I'm not one to speak on anybody's pain. If somebody fucking hurt you so bad that you require that the only way for you to cope is to fucking fuck their skull, then hey, man, you know. I'm not gonna stop
judge?
you. Exactly, you know, like they fucking, I don't know, like ripped your mom's arms off or some shit while you watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do whatever the fuck you gotta do, bro. Like, I'm not, you know. But if you're just a fucking psycho and you're just like fucking skulls, I'll be there like, hey, bro, can you?
Let me ask you this. Yeah, that's
What's
actually
up?
a very good point because I want to use this as a
Bring
segue to my next question.
What's that?
Do you think that when somebody's hurt to that type of level, that it becomes the individual right of revenge, or do you think that it should still be prosecuted in a manner that the community decided, and that the punishment should be what the community thinks, not what the affected person thinks? Because I think that you and I were talking about that thing where
With the death penalty.
with the death penalty, yeah, and that's where
I mean, that's for sure a tough question. And it.
That's why we're here, man. We tackle tough questions, motherfucker.
It opens up so much. So let's try to simplify it before we jump into the whole question of morality. Essentially, what I fall back to is the situation. The situation is what matters. I don't know if there's a thing. I think there's a thing called situational ethics, which I suspect that's where I may fall. But it really depends on the scenario, on the moment, on the situation, like what is going on. In a quote perfect society, I think that as a community, we can make certain rules, certain laws as to what is okay to do and what is not to do, as long as we have a foundation where causing pain or harm to somebody is not okay. And then from there, we can create all these, what I guess some would call arbitrary rules. So going to scenarios like that, I guess there would be a certain level of a rule if somebody, okay, I don't think the specific rule of if somebody comes and rips your mom's arms off and then fucks her skull, I don't think there would be a specific rule for that. I think what it would be is if anybody like hurts or murders or rapes somebody, there should be these specific rules. This is what we should do with that person. Now, whatever that community and that society decides is correct, I would.
Well, you'd be part of the community, of course.
Right. Then I would have my opinion. And my opinion would be that this.
Let me rephrase that because you were onto something over there. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sure.
But actually, your mom was part of that community. It was not you because you can totally live in a different community than your parents.
So then I have no.
Then you really like.
Oh,
let's say,
is my mom the one that happened? That.
Well, whoever
this
happened to you, your loved one might have been living in a different type of community.
I mean,
like the Bronx
I may
versus-
I may have an opinion on it, but I have to respect to an extent. I'm thinking this through as we're talking about this, by the way.
That's the beauty about it, and it's like
I would,
because it is a complex
I would,
question.
I would think that this is where I don't mind us gluing the world together, or as people say, flattening the world to these rules, because I would like to think that we all agree to the same degree that violating somebody is not okay, beating somebody is not okay. It doesn't matter where you come from. These are just basic rules. There are basic rules that we all should abide by. And I think the only moment where the family rules is if when it comes to the death penalty, is like when you want to do something like that. Like, I don't know if it's your family, like you have your opinion. And again, this is not going this for a law or anything like that. Just at this moment right now, I don't know how I could possibly tell somebody that they cannot take somebody out because they hurt somebody that they love.
Well, they're not taking them out. Like the government will do it for them.
But you're the one.
Like,
you're the one giving the okay.
Yeah.
So I think because that's the problem. It's like you don't want that responsibility on. You don't want that on your head. You don't want that. You don't want that blood on your hands, because at the end of the day, I'm such an idealist that it's like, no, we have to be better. We have to be better than the people that we condemn. We just have to be,
Yeah, but then what happens? Like, how do you control what happens when they go to prison? Because if somebody's faced with life sentence, they can easily, and I'm thinking strictly from my point of view. Mm-hmm. If tomorrow something happens and I'm faced with a life sentence, for something stupid, like say car accident, I was drunk, which would never happen, but car accident, I was drunk, killed somebody, and then I have to go for life or like a very, very long time. I would not mind overtaking that prison and fucking at whatever price. I would definitely try.
Well, in that sense, all you're doing is playing the cards that you were dealt. The question is, should you spend life in prison for killing somebody while you were drunk? Do you think that's a very fair punishment?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's
because
even 30 years is a lot of time.
Let's say one of your family members gets killed by a drunk driver. What do you think is the proper punishment?
I don't know.
Do you think they should spend life in prison?
No, but definitely very hefty sentence would.
What would be and that's kind of the questions. That's kind of like what I was saying, like the situation. Like it
definitely
depends
hefty sentence
on the person. It's like you being the family member. What to you would be a hefty sentence?
I would definitely do those weird ones where they're like 25 to life, and with possibility of parole. See, that's the thing. That's the fucking thing. Like again, it comes to the individual. If that dude is like a fucking saint, and then this is the first time that he ever did it,
right?
Because I've witnessed.
Would you be that
myself.
forgiving?
I mean,
If-
I've
if
seen
it was
people.
only- no,
you know what?
would
Let me
you,
rephrase it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I might be. Actually, I might be to the
If
point
it was
where
one of
I'm
your
not going to
parents,
prosecute.
your sister, your
Your I might be to the
spouse,
point where I won't prosecute. Like,
and that
it would really fucking
and
depend on the
that's-
person.
right.
It would, like, dude, if
I'd
there's...
like to think I'd like to agree with you, and that's how we all would react.
Yeah,
But,
'cause, like,
but
if
you can't
some
speak until you're in that moment of pain.
That's true. That's true. But even then, like, I think that if it's really somebody goody two shoes, like, I might not even charge.
So would we create a system in which each individual would create
that's
their
all.
rules that have to be implemented, regardless of what you say afterwards? Meaning, right now, in a hypothetical, you're like, no, I wouldn't process or anything like this. I mean, you would, but a hefty sentence. But let's say if it happens and you change your mind, you're like, no, fuck that dude. He should spend life. Your past statement would overrule what you're saying right now because you're, quote, emotional. Right? Would that be a fair system? See, like, that's the thing. Is like we can create the scenarios and we can create a better, I think, world to an extent.
Yeah, no,
or it would just be a different, right? Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, that's a tough one because it's like, yeah. Oh.
Because I'm being rational right now. But after it happens, if I'm like, no, fuck that son of a bitch. I don't care if he's been a goody two shoes. He killed my sister. Fuck him.
That is a great idea. And on that bombshell,
boom.
we're going to leave it. All right. Thanks for joining. Next
Thank you
time,
so much.
we're going to be here again.
I hope so.
And we're going to be talking
some more issues
on
at
some
the
more
Immigrant
issues.
Show.
So vote for whoever you want to, even if it's Trump, hashtag Trump, whatever. Gets us views, man. Gets us views.
No, that guy's crazy. No,
he is.
the
Actually,
hashtag gets us views. Don't vote for him. Please don't.
Wait. So, actually, it's not goodbye yet. Give me 1 second, because I do have a rant to go on, and it's not a rant, but it's definitely a big ass tangent. Man, at the end of the day, when you get more views than expected on YouTube, it strikes you that sometimes you can say some shit and that could generate views. Like Trump, for example. He is a extremely hot topic and he sells.
Hot topic.
Now, which is very interesting because that's how the algorithm works, right? So we'll say Trump like 20 more times probably throughout my rant.
But we don't know
Because-
that's why we got the views.
So, but we're going to experiment.
Oh, all right.
And we can definitely do the hashtag we talk about Trump.
We talk about Trump.
Yeah. Can we do that hashtag? Like we
Sure,
can put it,
yeah.
We can put it right here. Right, good.
Talk about Trump.
Talk about Trump. No. It's hashtag we talk about Trump.
Yeah,
Right.
pound sign, number sign.
Oh,
1, 2,
I'm
3, 4,
totally
5,
going to
6,
talk
7, 8,
about
9.
that on Twitter. I'm totally going to hashtag that shit.
Do it, bro. Do it.
Anyway.
Do it. Oh, yeah, we're on Twitter. Check us out on Twitter.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, my dude runs it.
Yeah, I do. And I'm going to create a second Twitter just for this show again because I have ideas. Anyway, So-
Anyway.
Mr. Trump and Trumpety Trump, man, I lost count of how many times I said Trump, but I said 20 more times
least
probably.
50.
Nah, a little bit more. Hold on. So Trumpety Trump over there doing his shit, and
Poop.
I told you earlier, it is something that you have to admire because he has that rare ability to connect to people, similar to other powerful leaders that have started some shit back in the day. And
Hitler? Tell him about Hitler?
yeah, I just didn't want to say it.
I got you, bro.
No. I didn't want to say it because, like, I really think that if people don't know about, like, the name, because they
Bro.
might have heard stories and, like, oh,
If you
you're
don't know about
Nazi.
Hitler, what do you mean? What?
There's
People
some
should know about Hitler.
Hold on. There's some people that don't know it. Like that's the idea.
Who?
Like to
Americans?
yeah.
I mean, yeah, in South America, probably.
Yeah,
Not
'cause,
South
like,
America.
some people have been called Nazi and shit
Southern
like that.
states.
But you have to understand that when they're being called Nazis and shit, maybe you should like really look into what my dude over there in Germany did. Because, and when I say my dude, I use the term loosely. Man, it sucks that I have to cover my ass every single time. But like I have to.
Well, when you phrase it like that, I'm like,
Yeah,
where
right?
are you going with this, bro? Like,
No, because he was a master of public speaking.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm really seeing in Trump. Like he's able to tap into this primal emotions that people somehow have access to now, right? Like imagine if that type of emotion was available for use in 1950s, we would not exist because somebody would have pressed the button and then just nuclear rockets will have started flying out.
the fuck
So-
are you saying?
Just listen to it. So my point is like now we're seeing somebody in modern time having the same ability to connect with people as that person in Germany. And one of the most interesting things is that they're doing it through the same medium, which is TV.
Okay.
And they have like these like gestures and whatever. And it's like, how the fuck would not figure out TV for the past like 75 years? Like, how are we still gullible to the same shit that worked back then? And we know that the outcome of that shit was not good.
Man,
Right?
it's not the
Like-
media it's not the media. It's not the TV that's making this accessible. It's the fucking dumbasses that listen to this motherfucker.
No, but like, yeah, okay, dumbasses. I tried to defend them. I really did for a second there. I was trying to
Why?
tell you something else.
No, why?
Because I'm trying to. I really
You
do think
tryna-
that motherfucker. I really think that Trump is a fucking master. I really
He's
think that
n-
he's a master
I
of public
don't-
speaking.
I don't think he is. I think this dude, to me, he is a child that's always is always gotten what he's wanted. I don't think he's that. He reminds me of Bush. They're not smart. They're clever at certain things, or at least
come on, man.
they've gotten away with certain things. I don't think he's intentional. At this point, I feel like this is the most intentional he's ever been. I'm convinced that right now Trump is the most intentional he's ever been,
Yeah,
and
'cause he's in
that
fucking
he's
trouble.
pandering. That he's right. He's
trouble,
like
dude.
that he's just like pandering to his audience and stuff. Like this whole thing when he said about when he got caught with the files and he was like, oh, Barack took all these files. He took millions of files. The reason he said millions of files is because they found like hundreds of his, you know. So I think that he's just really good at talking. Not that
Yeah,
he's
that's
clever. He's not.
I never said that. I said that he's master in public speaking. That he's masterful in bringing big masses of people together and uniting them behind an idea. That's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That. Yeah. He's just
And
he
that
just
is-
like talks.
and that is
he just
mastered
says
work.
shit.
And that is
I
master
just
work.
don't
And
think
he's
it's
doing it.
I just don't think
throughout
he's
the
so
same-
intentional. I don't think it's like super intentional. I just think that it's more of a result. I don't think he's smart enough to realize that what he's saying is like, because I feel like he could be much more crafty about it.
No. But
He's not.
What if
he's
he's
not,
playing? What if he's playing a role? What if he's actually a little bit smarter than what we think? Not by a lot. Like,
yeah, I just.
but
be
let's
like,
say like 10
wow.
IQ points, which do make a difference, right?
I would
Like,
just be like, wow, but I wouldn't find this significant.
because we definitely know, as we said earlier in the podcast, actually show. I'm gonna start calling it a show, man, because we film it. Like we put in so much work. It's a show.
Call it whatever you want, bro. It's a show. Immigrant
It's a
show. Immigrant show podcast.
So, and by the way, are we on any podcast platforms?
YouTube. That's a platform. That.
No, we're gonna start uploading shit. Maybe SoundCloud.
Oh
Or-
yeah. George is gonna get right on that shit.
No. Let's talk. Let's talk after this. Because
right.
I'm curious. Like,
All right, we got to wrap this up, though.
yeah, no, we do. There was something about rant going on.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we're ranting about Trump. Okay, are we done? Did I say it the 20 times that I said it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, hashtag. We talk about Trump, yo.
Thank you so much for
Mr.
joining
Trump.
us. We'll see you in another episode.
Wait, how was it? How was the Mexican ASL? Okay, so
Órale, cabrón.
Mr. Trump,
An old rapist motherfucker.
tacos.
Yeah, tacos forever.
Yeah, I've been waiting for your taco ass all night.
What?
I don't know. All right.